Costa Rica, but I had a little bit of a hard time getting through the firewall of the hotel, so my apologies for the halftime report today. Had to do it all by phone. Hate to do that. Always love to be on the show, but hate to do it, from something suboptimal, let's just say. But again, really nice day for trading. Pretty nice setups all over the place, and we're going to get to it. If you're new to 3 at 3, every option is for 100 shares of stock. I trade most of what you're about to see me talk about. So full disclosure, I am in many of these trades. So with that said, bang, let's do it. Presentation is as follows. This is 3 at 3 for the 19th of January, 2021. I am that guy. Disclaimer says that all investments involve risk and that you need to understand we are providing this for educational and informational purposes only. Full stop. Intellectual property rights. Yes. Lawyers also make me say this. We have copyrights, trademarks, patents, registered marks on virtually everything you're about to see. That doesn't mean that we don't want you to take it and show it to your friends or even use it in a presentation. We just ask that you ask us first and that you cite Market Rebellion. Thank you. All right, yep, down here, there's a friend of mine's daughter, and we're out there sailing the other day on a big, beautiful 50-foot cat. By the way, that rock out there is monkey head, they call it, and as you can kind of see the profile there, it looks a little bit like Kong or something like that. Just a lovely weather down here. And, of course, lots of rum, because we're down here where they have lots of rum. There was one of the sunsets setting up. Didn't see the green flash last night, but I've seen it. And there's the boat, a nice big 50-foot cat that we were out on enjoying some family time and some times with really good friends. All right, let's get to 3 at 3. So Teva, I told you about it last week when I was in a much colder climb back in Chicago. Teva pharmaceutical stock was $10.72. We said, hey, you know what? Looks like somebody's buying a lot of these upside calls in February. There was the stock today as it moved through 12 to $12.38. Bang. Already working nicely and been up to $12.66 today. Bang. If you'd like to learn more about trading stocks, options, futures, cryptocurrencies, come on over to Market Rebellion. Type in marketrebellion.com/get started. That is marketrebellion.com/get started. You can do remote learning. You could be, as many of the friends that I've met down here have said, you could be at the Costa Rican resort of your choice learning about cryptocurrency. How wild is that? You could be down here basically learning about cryptocurrency, stock and options, futures trading, you name it. You could learn about it, and it's all on your timetable because all of our remote learning is set up that way. You just go on, password secured website, log on, watch it as many times as you need to, work through some of the questions and things like that because we want to make sure you really know it before you move on. Check out marketrebellion.com/get started. All right, unusual option activity. Let's do some fresh stuff, shall we? Live Nation, my buddy Josh Brown. Tipping one for you, Josh. Josh said, hey, I like Live Nation, and I like Live Nation too. I also like bullish call buying that showed up in here. So LYV, Live Nation, 71.30. They're buying 2,600 of the February 75 calls. Those are $4 out of the money. You guys know the drill. I'm going to buy something closer to the money and sell perhaps those 75 calls. That's what I was doing to establish a trade in there today. Or you could just buy these calls for $190 a piece. And if you get a pop between now and February expiration, pat yourself on the back. You're going to make a nice chunk of change. I'm moving the odds into my favor by buying a lower strike call and selling that higher strike out of the money call, because that's the way I play. There's Live Nation, 76.53. So where was it when we saw it? 71.30. Then, when I cited it on the halftime report, you see that spike right there, my friends? Well, I imagine a little bit of it's from Josh and a little bit of it's from John. And I don't care how it plays out. I know that our subscribers are really happy about the trade, and I hope you are really happy about the trade if you were lucky enough to get into it. Did this one as my final trade on there, and we had that unusual activity during the halftime report. So bang, bang. Also today with my brother Pete at 4 p.m., so about, 40 minutes from now, 45 minutes from now, I'll be on the Rebellion Roundtable with Pete, and we'll be talking about manias and bubbles and all that kind of stuff. Not saying it's either, but we're going to talk about it. And if you want to hear direct from Pete, direct from me at 4 p.m., you can do just that, but you have to register. Got to go over to marketrebellion.com and register, and then you can get it live, just like that Live Nation trade. You want it live? Yeah, I bet you do. Then go on over to marketrebellion.com, sign up there. Bang. Let's get to a second one, Lyft. Look at this, 14,000 of these January 50 calls. Gotta like that, right? 14,000 January 50 calls bought for 43 cents. That, my friends, is a big trade. So when I see a big trade like that go by, every option is for 100 shares of stock. That means that we're seeing 1.4 million share equivalent. 1.4 million! That's a lot. I want to join when people make that kind of commitment, when they put 1.4 million down at 43 cents. I'm saying, you know what? We got somebody dropping some big figures here. When you're dropping $1 million on a trade, I want to follow you. So that's what we did. Remember, every one of those options is 43 bucks. They bought 14,000 of them at the 50 strike. Now, it's a lot closer to the money, but still you have other strikes that you could be buying and selling a higher strike out of the money. By doing so, I move the odds into my favor. Don't hit as many home runs doing that, but it's about hitting for average the way I look at it, folks. Let's do that. And there is those January 50 calls, that big spike in volume. You see there over 20,000 by the time I got on air. And my nice friends like Patty and Vince that are putting these graphics up for CNBC, they were nice enough to put this one up. And these calls expire this Friday, so be aware of that. Lifting, $49.13. As you see, when we talked about it, it was almost $1 cheaper, which gives you an idea of why you want to be a subscriber, because you get to be in on those when they make those moves during the show after we've talked about them. Well, I can't help you getting in at a cheaper price other than saying you should be a subscriber. All right, let's take a look at Voyager, because this is a publicly traded company out of Canada that Pete and I are significant investors in. Why did we invest in Voyager? Number one, because we believe in the founder, Steve Ehrlich, and his vision for a crypto brokerage that has already over 50 digital assets on it. They have been growing by leaps and bounds. They're up over 500 million AUM. This is the real deal, folks. And you trade for free, commission-free trading, crypto made simple. It's all right there on your phone. Just check it out. That is Voyager. It is a publicly traded company in Canada on the Venture Exchange. It is also a company here in America on the OTC market. And by the way, they have a token. VGX is that symbol. Bang. I think a lot of people, when I started talking about Voyager, probably jumped on that token, or pretty happy they did, I bet. Let's talk about General Motors, shall we? Why? Because again, on the halftime report, one of the stocks I cited was General Motors. Why? Because we see somebody buying short-term options that expire this Friday, January 22 calls at the 54 strike. Now, they were buying last week the 50 and the 52 strike calls. Now they're buying 54s and the stock has moved up to 54. So paying 78 bucks a piece for something that's at the money, reasonable trade, I think. And I love following people who have been right. They were right on the 13th of January, 14th of January, 20th, whatever of January. Love following when people are right. That's why I'm in these calls. Gotcha. There it is, 54.80, up 9.6%. As you see, you could have made $1.40 just by scalping the stock, I guess, because when we talked about it, it was 53.40. Now 54.80. Bang, like that. I'm in these calls, folks. But keep in mind, they expire Friday, deep end of the pool. That means very rapid time decay. So please be aware of that. It's very critical that you're addressing the fast-moving time decay as well, which is theta, as well as the volatility. You can address both by doing some of the spreads I've already spoken about. Questions? Yeah, let's get to some of those and a little more of this. Actually, this is tequila, though. Love rum, but I love tequila more. Got to be 5 o'clock somewhere, right? All right. Nobody, and his handle or her handle is at ADI_cool with 3 O's, KOOOL. All right. They ask Pete, hey, Pete, love these morning motivationals from you and Jon Najarian. Please don't stop doing these. They help me get in the right mindset, which is crucial for trading. You are right, nobody. You got to do that. Today, I think I did 1,400 steps up and down. If you were to look and see outside here, the mansion that we're staying in is up here on the hill. You can hear the surf, but it's above, and we got a lot of steps between here and the surf. So I went out 6:30 this morning, said, let's get some, to quote Jocko Willink, and went down to the ocean, did my walk along the beach, went up into the first set of 750 stairs, topped out at the very top of this peninsula, and then went down and then back up another 750 stairs on the other side. So thank you. I think it gets me right in the head. It helps me feel better here and just clears my mind. So I agree with you. It's crucial for trading. MMEDF, MindMed. Yeah, MindMed. This is coming to us from at NIHADBEBA. Nahid Beba. All right, Nahid. He says, are you still in MindMed? Yes, I am. First heard about it from you and Kevin O'Leary. I first heard about it from Kevin O'Leary and then J.K. Ron. Just read Florida lawmaker introducing some mushroom legalization plus NASDAQ uplisting. Feels like cannabis stocks a few years ago. Yes, except this is medical. So this isn't a dispensary play for psychedelics, folks. I just want to make sure you know that. These guys are treating PTSD. They're treating ADHD. They're doing a lot of good for people that somehow, if your brain just gets a little scrambled and you need help unscrambling it, a lot of people out of depression and things like that relied on opioids or drinking too much. This one is a way that people are now really looking at some of these other methods, like, for instance, microdosing LSD. Yeah, I said it, microdosing LSD. Microdosing mushrooms and things like that. Not for recreational purposes, but rather for under a doctor's care, using it. Again, not going there and saying, hey, I need some because, I'm going to have a party. No, this is because you want to get right. And a lot of soldiers and first responders and kids with ADHD, parents with ADHD, attention deficit disorder, and things like that, has been able to help them immensely. And I love MindMed. So that's the symbol. It's also a stock that trades, I believe, up in Canada on the Venture Exchange, and hopefully soon here uplisting onto the NASDAQ. You're right, that will cause that stock to spike if and when it happens. And I believe in what they do. Calls. All right. So Tyler Tulowitzki, and his handle is I am Tulo. That's @ I am TULO. At Jon Najarian with MACD RSI and CCI all bottoming out. Isn't it time for some calls? Yeah, it probably is. It depends on which one you're talking about, though, Tyler. I know you're leading me in here, but yeah, it depends. If I have an RSI and a CCI that are low and starting to make that turn back up, as my friend AJ Monty would say, they've got that handle starting to pick up. Yeah, I like jumping on those. And there's nobody better at the CCI than Monty. That's AJ Monty, our guy. And he can teach you all about it, folks. He is really like he's got a crystal ball or something. And so, yes, calls, absolutely. Calls over stock right here, absolutely. Thank you for joining me today, folks. If you'd like to learn more, please go to marketrebellion.com/UOA, which means unusual option activity. That's marketrebellion.com/UOA. I appreciate all of you joining me today. I hope you have a great day. I'm sorry to say, no matter where you are, you're not having as good a day as I am. Here's a little bit of a, if you can see that at all, there you go. That's the ocean out there and so forth. You get an idea of where we are above it. And my gosh, just a beautiful day here in paradise. I hope wherever you are, it is good, certainly good here. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bang.